Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Deji. This is a Blue Zone takeover. No, I'm just kidding. So today I'm doing my pick, Hugo, which I know nothing about, but Pedro recommended to me and said that it's really good. So yeah.
Back into this is something cool that I don't hear a lot of people bring up. 2011 was actually a really cool year for movies. I always like to call 2011 the retro year for movies, because there were a lot of movies that were kind of retro in some way or fashion. Like we had The Artist, which was a throwback to silent films. We also had Captain America: First Avenger, which did harken back to the old days of the 80s, like movies like The Rocketeer and stuff like that. We had The Muppets, which was the Muppets franchise returning to that old original trilogy from Jim Henson's era. We had Winnie the Pooh 2011, which was a return to the original Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh movie. The 2011 was a year of a lot of successful, I might add, retro throwbacks. So, and this is another movie that's kind of retro in its own way. This movie is directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's based on the novel called The Invention of Hugo Cabret. What is this? Let's just say this is a book that deals with, specifically, the history of cinema, specifically the history of French cinema.
Whoa. Pump the brakes. Martin Scorsese making a child-friendly movie?
Oh, yeah, that. Basically, here's the idea. Martin Scorsese has always wanted to make a movie that he could show his daughter.
Oh, what? You're telling me he never showed his daughter his other movies?
I don't know, Joe. I get the feeling showing Wolf of Wall Street to her, what at the time was her child, his child, probably wasn't the best idea. So, but he's always wanted to make a movie that he could actually share with his children. So
I won't lie, though. I had no idea what this movie was about based off of the advertising.
Yeah, the marketing for this movie was garbage. It made the movie look nothing like what it actually is.
Long story short, Bridge to Terabithia. If based off of the advertising, a lot of us were led to believe this was going to be your typical fantasy Narnia-esque setting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're in the PAL territory, everybody, please use the Blu-ray. Don't use any digital copies because there's PAL speed up, which is why we don't have Wibbs here, because he wouldn't be able to follow along with us. Eventually, when he gets his Blu-ray, we'll do generations of this. So for now, let's just start at 0 in our Blu-rays. So everybody ready?
Ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dutch.
All right. And 3, 2, 1, click.
It's interesting because
hey,
in the same year, 2011, we had a movie made by French people that's a love letter to old American cinema, and now we have a movie made by American people that's a love letter to French cinema, to old French cinema. So
it was a thank you.
Oh boy, trains.
Oh my god, I just looked up Richard Riffy, and now I know. I remember this movie. Oh no.
Yeah, like I said, I've seen that movie as a kid.
I haven't seen it. I just remember people were telling me how insane the ending is. I need to see it.
GK Films. You know them. They're great.
Totally. I have no idea who they are.
Neither do we. Welcome to Paris, the city of love, as they call it.
And Pedro, we just saw a movie about a French director. Now we're in a movie. Now this movie takes place in France.
It's like I told you, that 2011 was the year of loving throwbacks.
Chains.
Oh, and by the way, another interesting thing, this is the only movie directed by Martin Scorsese that actually was shot in 3D. And from what I've heard from people who saw it in 3D, 3D was actually pretty good. And this sequence in particular, apparently they took really good advantage of it.
So I've heard. Hey, but don't you get it? Based off of the fact that the first ever movie shown literally made people think a train was going to come out of the screen and squash them. So of course this should be in 3D.
Well, the movie in particular that this story takes place on is a different one, but yeah, the train arrives at the station will be.
I guess this is Hugo.
Yes, very good. We'll get to Trinorize at the station. It actually does indeed show up in the story. Yes.
All I remember about the scene was...
Borat. No, really, that's Sacha Baron Cohen.
All I remember about this movie that I have not seen is that apparently there's a scene where there's a big train crash.
Oh, hello guys, Emily Mortimer. This is not the second movie in a row. Yes.
So this, how is it that all 5 of our movies are somehow linked by at least one actor here and there?
This was an unintentional trend of these movie picks.
Now we just need to.
Is that the narrative we're going with, Shuri?
Yes.
Now we just need to see if this movie also has a dead mother. If it does, then it's 5
even
for
more
5.
than that. As you're about to see, Joe, but it has more than that. It has both parents dead.
Whoa!
In fact, this kid lives here all alone in the clock tower, as you're just saying, because both of his parents are dead.
But he doesn't want to go to an orphanage. He'd rather live in the boiler room.
Yes. This is actually, like I said, it's an adaptation of a book, but I will talk about the book later. Oh, look, a cute little toy shop. And that's Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes.
This was actually, if I remember correctly, when was Kick-Ass came out in 2010, if I remember correctly. So yeah, this was like a year after Kick-Ass, so she was still a child at this point.
Is that movie good?
Oh yes.
Kick-Ass is really good. It's a satire of superhero fiction, and it's actually really good. I haven't seen the second one though. It's directed by the director of the first Kingsman movie. Well, actually, he directed he directed Golden Circle too. So I guess yeah, but yeah, it's directed from the creator of Kingsman. If that helps you.
I don't think I've ever seen a single director who doesn't have at least something of a blemish here and there.
I would argue Kubrick never had a bad movie.
I guess it's on who you talk to regarding certain movies of his, but
sure. Some people don't care for Eyes Wide Shut, but me and Dubs really like it.
And
A notebook. Something wrong, Ben? Yes, that's Ben Kingsley, by the way.
so is he like playing an actual historical
animation?
figure? Yes.
That's a good call, Joe, but we'll get to it. Do you know those pictures? Oh boy. Notice Sacha Baron Cohen's character's leg and how it clearly needs some fixing.
Yeah.
Oh boy. It's not a wolf, ma'am. I think it's a Doberman. Of course. So basically, the musicians are this movie's cabbage men, or cabbage salesmen, if you prefer.
Oh, but they're trying to provide the score.
So basically, there you go, Jova. Sorry to say, but life of a musician in here is in this train station seems to be hell.
Well, that's their own fault for musicians of the train station.
Don't run that close to the platform edge.
Please don't.
Even the dogs lost track of him.
So yeah,
Nobody knows how to look up.
Yeah, think of Hugo as a more down-to-earth type of Aladdin character of sorts.
Oh dear.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think the doggo's trained to help with that.
Ooh!
Yeah, the dog was just gonna sit this one out, clearly.
Looks like a you problem.
Yeah, I actually really like the way this movie is directed, like the overall shots and the composition. Yeah, it looks really cool, actually. I can definitely see why people say that in theaters in 3D it actually looked really good, because yeah, I can definitely see how these shots would benefit from a 3D effect. So what exactly is up with...
I assume this was during the time where, since 3D was the new thing, well, the new revival,
Yeah,
they
this was 2 days
decided,
up.
let's
Yeah,
take advantage of it.
Well, again, given that this is apparently based off of the making of film, as I've learned, there was the very first ever movie was Train Stops at a Station, which frightened people into thinking the train was going to come out of the screen and hit them. So if this movie is based around that, well, of course it only makes sense to have it be eye-popping 3D.
That too.
And now 3D is dead.
That's actually a fair point, Jova. But at the same time, while it is true that Train Around the Station will play its part, the primary movie we're focusing on this movie is A Trip to the Moon. But don't worry, we'll get to it.
So is this like a historical fiction sort of movie, or...?
Both. I'm not going to spoil anything, but let's just say this story is half fictitious and half inspired by a real story. Or rather, like based on a real story, more like.
I think I may have seen Trip to the Moon when I was in college. Either that or a documentary about it, because it's very short, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I can just easily discover you. Is it that one where people send a missile to the moon, and the missile hits the moon's eye?
Yeah.
That's the one. A Trip to the Moon.
You can tell we're in Paris because of
And if
the
I
use of
remember
the
correctly,
accordion.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that woman with the dog, I think she's what was that tall woman who was Hagrid's kind of girlfriend in the Harry Potter movies?
I don't know her name, but
Madame Beatrix, I believe it was.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's the same actress. I think that's the same actress actually, playing that woman. And yeah, he actually takes care of the clock even.
That's very nice of you, Quasimodo. I mean, I know he's not a hunchback, but we're in the middle of France. He lives secluded from most of humanity, and even mans a giant tower of sorts.
So where's the priest?
No, sorry, there will be no priests here.
By the way, Dej, Frollo's not a priest, in case you were wondering. He's a judge. Well, okay.
Well,
The
he's a judge
Disney,
in the Disney movie, but
the Disney
in the
version.
book, he's a priest. In the book,
Yeah, because I was like, he dresses like a priest. He does everything in favor for God.
Oh,
He
and
sings
we
a song
get our.
called Hellfire. Yeah, you can't blame me for making me think he was a priest.
Just because he's a judge, it doesn't mean he can't be religious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hugo?
Well, yeah, usually orphans are not allowed to just stand around here on their own.
Sure you are. He's gonna follow him like a puppy, oh my god.
Well, crap.
Let
Yeah,
me
it's fine.
guess. The notebook is all he has left of his family, so that's why he wants it back. And it was one of his dead parents who drew the pictures.
You're on the right track for the first half of that guess, but the second half is totally off.
Okay, so he's probably the one who drew them. But he just doesn't want to admit it, for whatever reason.
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Oh god, watch out for the weeping angels. Oh, France, you and your penchant for creepy ass
France was Tumblr before Tumblr.
Okay, that's the quote for today, ladies and gentlemen. France was Tumblr before Tumblr. There you go.
I'm sure the French will be very pleased to hear that.
I mean, wild and unique art. Yeah, of course.
Maybe a little risque as well. Yeah,
Exactly.
Tumblr is France.
Oh boy.
I don't have a home. I'm an orphan.
All right then. So what exactly is that notebook about? Let's see. Oh, an automaton.
That actor looks familiar.
Yeah, I forgot his name. It's... Hold on.
Wait, is that Jude Law?
That's it, Jude Law. Thank you.
Oh my god, sure, right. Dumbledore and a kid and all that jazz.
Yes.
Huh.
How fantastic.
You see, Dej, before Dumbledore became head of Hogwarts, he was off in France. He had a kid before he faked his death or something.
But this is Dumbledore from Fantastic Beasts, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
I promise you, we'll get to it.
We'll totally get to it.
You know, parents in movies just need to learn not to say this crap.
You're tempting fate. You need to stop.
So, yeah.
Jovan, when he becomes a parent, things not to say to my children.
Yeah.
Sorry, son. I can't tell you how much I love you. Otherwise, I'll die a horrible death. That's a very
But
unfair.
what if you die a horrible death without telling them how much you love them?
Well, crap.
Well, that's
okay, because I wrote it in my journal that they'll find.
Yes!
Like with the last movie, if Disney buys us all, this is the reality we're going to have to deal with.
Yes, sure. I mean, basically, if Disney buys the Wukenshua, you can never say that. You can never say "I love you" to anybody you love ever again. Otherwise, you'll probably will die as a result of that.
Yeah.
So.
Also, if you're gay, they'll proclaim you as the first ever gay person to have walked across the room
God.
or whatnot.
I'll be banned. I'll be
Can we
banned
not?
from. Yeah.
Can we not, please?
Congratulations, sure.
I mean,
Joke aborted. Joke aborted.
normally I wouldn't, but Disney were the ones who made themselves a meme out of it. But yeah,
it's a good thing this is Paramount, not Disney. So
True. All the same, though, yes, promising your kid, it's just one more thing. One
more
last time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, he used to work in a museum, and the
And then
museum
a
caught on fire.
fire.
Yeah, basically the idea is that the museum burned. There was a fire. It's just that yeah, I will admit the way
That
the
is
way
a little.
the way they convey that scene is a bit rushed. Oh boy! Now we have to.
Well, you look like an ass.
Now we have to stick with the not stepfather, but evil uncle.
Oh, don't tell me he was the
character.
one who started the fire.
No. He's just a douchebag. That's it.
Oh, and he's a drunk too, it seems.
Oh, and a pickpocket. Let me guess, the uncle died, and then he basically had to learn to take care of himself at the station.
Basically, yeah.
I don't remember because it's been a long time since we saw this, but did he die getting hit by a train or something?
No, 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 no. If I remember correctly, he dies of a heart attack, actually.
Okay.
So if I didn't know better, is this Granville Paris Express station that we're at?
I don't know my Paris locales, so
It looks like Paris Montparnasse.
maybe it is. I don't know.
Like a literal rat.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure with a healthy lifestyle like that, you'll be there to watch after him forever.
Dude, you don't smoke in a graveyard.
Oh, I guess they're burying the father next to his wife by the looks of it.
Apparently, yes.
So,
Well,
yeah.
it's common in.
So, yes, we do indeed have 5 movies in a row with a dead mother.
Mm-hmm. Well, if the mom is not around, we can pretty much just assume she died anyway. Ooh, croissant.
Oh,
Bad doggo. Bad.
this person's having a really rough time.
Dang.
Are we still in flashback territory?
No.
We aren't? Huh.
Well, remember the flashback in the flashback with the father, he had his hair in much more neatly fashion.
It's a bit hard
So-
to tell, like, if maybe just some time had passed and we're still in flashback just after a time skip.
Oh
Well,
no.
well, like I said, it's easy to tell by Hugo's hair because in the flashbacks, Hugo's hair is much more neatly in check and shorter.
So, this movie is neat, but I am wondering what exactly the main plot is meant to be.
Don't worry, we'll get to it.
Oh, this is awkward.
When the plot says here, the station, inspector, and yeah, there you go. Oh, someone's got a crush.
Another movie where someone has a crush on Emily, huh?
Well, Emily Mortimer is a wonderful person, so I don't blame them. Nope. There you go. He needed to fix the automaton.
See? All you had to do was just answer.
I wonder.
Oh, wow. He actually burnt. Wait a minute.
Very good, Jova.
He didn't really burn it, did he?
Good call.
Yeah.
Well, way to spoil it.
Don't worry, we're gonna learn immediately that that's not what happened anyway.
Also, there's a difference between calling something and spoiling it. It's only spoiling if you knew the details.
No, I mean Pedro.
I know, but hold on, Joe. We're literally about to get confirmation right now, Deji, so trust me, there's not much point in me keeping it.
What year did the movie take place?
This movie takes place in the 1910s.
It's like Heathcliff was that old?
She doesn't mean cartoon Heathcliff, if that's
Okay.
what you're thinking.
Disney World?
We can't wear Paramount.
Oh, library! Get away! No!
Oh, hey, Christopher Lee.
Oh, wait. It's Isabel. Of course she loves the library.
Well,
I
thanks
don't
for
get the
that.
reference. Wait, I don't get the reference.
Animal Crossing.
So Deji is not a man of culture, I see.
No, I'm just like,
Yeah,
wait.
so
No.
let's see.
I was like, when you said Isabel, I was like, Animal Crossing, but it's like, what, does she play a character named Isabel?
Well, that's the name of the girl.
Oh.
Anyway,
General Kenobi. Hello there.
there you go.
It was a test of character.
Yeah. But why though?
Oh, no, lady. I already got fooled into thinking Mr. Terabithia was gonna be about adventure.
Your sorrow intrigues me. I'm in.
Jova, we need to watch that movie. I need to see how insane that is.
It's like well, technically, Jova, an adventure doesn't necessarily require fantasy.
I know, and that's why we got tricked so badly with Mr. Terabithia.
Well, don't worry, you will not. Well, don't worry. Fortunately, it's the marketing that tricks you here, not the movie itself.
Well, that is kind of the main thing, though. And again,
all right, okay, fine.
that
Well, this movie's still good though, so don't worry.
well, again, that's just the irony that this movie shares the same thing with Mr. Terabithia. Like, I have to wonder, like, whose wise idea was it to even do that? Like,
Well, that's the thing, Joe. But they looked at the okay. It will become more apparent later on. But when my guess is when the marketer looked at this movie and they thought, yeah, the primary audience for this movie is going to be film students, film lovers, all that stuff. Not so much mainstream audiences. So they probably thought, let's market it as a Narnia clone. All right, let's see if we can fix it.
all right. I guess
Yeah,
that's the least you could do for him.
Yeah, that is a good point. While the old man is not exactly Mr. Sympathy, Hugo has been stealing stuff from him. So
Right.
Hugo's not Hugo's not exactly innocent in this either.
It is part of his livelihood, so yeah. So let me guess, these two are gonna end up creating the film camera.
You're not entirely wrong, but at the same time, kinda you are. It's hard to explain. Let's just.
Is that a TV trope term?
Is it? If it is, I don't know.
You mean the well, yes, but no meme from the Pirates Band of Misfits movie?
Also, he just fixed it. You didn't need to slime it down. You
stop
could have
motion.
broke it again.
Yeah, stop motion.
Huh.
Huh.
I don't think I've seen a movie where stop motion blends with live action,
Oh, there's actually
I've
been a
seen it
few,
plenty
actually.
of times.
like in recent memory.
Oh, Terminator 1, for example. The
Oh,
endoskeleton of the
yeah.
Terminator in the climax, after he loses his skin in the fire, he's stop motion because remember, at the time that you can use it CGI, so get a stop motion puppet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing that they stopped making. No.
Well, topic for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Fine, I guess I'll hire you.
Oh,
Baka.
you'll begin
Tomorrow.
now.
Oh, yeah, you begin now. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, Nestle.
That guy looks like Johnny Depp.
I know. It's like you look like Johnny Depp.
Whoa, jeez.
You okay, Deji?
Not a fan
I got
of
too
Johnny
excited.
Depp?
It's like this guy looks like Johnny Depp. I don't want to say
Oh,
it,
look
or
at
else I
that.
might look insane.
Notice what Papa George is doing, though.
Card trick.
Huh. Fancy yourself a magician, Mr. George?
Ah, the wonderment. What as these two bondos? Oh. It would be a shame if he died, wouldn't it?
Well, I can already alleviate your fears. No, he does not die.
Ah, okay.
I wonder how that will. I wonder if that will play a major part in the movie.
My best friend is a lifeless automaton.
I never had to do that. Do a card trick about the. Is this your card? I messed up so hard. Once, like I was off by one card. I was like, "Fuck."
I used to play a lot of card games, and then I forgot how to play all of them.
Oh, did you play
So-
Duel Monsters, Shiroi?
No, like
Thank God.
card games, Jova.
I find that fun, by the way. Those Isabel and her friends are apparently practicing the valse. Interesting pastime, I guess. Ooh, let's see. It works. Huh. So I'm guessing it's supposed to write something? I mean, it has a pen.
It's missing the heart.
Yep. And the keyhole happens to be shaped like a heart. Make what? Okay, Joe, I know you want to make a joke about that, so go on.
I mean, it's not a Disney movie, so it's not like this will even make it into Kingdom Hearts.
Sure. I just figured you probably would want to make one anyway.
Clever.
Uh-oh. While it is true that, again, just like with Papa George, the inspector is not exactly Mr. Sympathy, at the same time, that is kind of how it works. Children can't be left on their own. They have to kind of go to an orphanage or something along those lines.
That said, maybe we could think of better
kid- yeah,
conditions than putting a kid in a cage.
Yeah. That being said, Mr. Inspector, you could probably the cage is probably a bit too much. I get that you don't want him to run away, but still.
Ooh.
Wow.
Why would you assume that?
Yeah, like,
No, don't worry. I'm sure your wife will return to you. Can we please change the subject, please? I'm not really.
Yeah, this is really going badly for me.
You know, Shira, even though this is both the book and the movie are American made, I'm getting quite influence from the work of Charles Dickens here, actually.
Oh, a cat.
Kitty,
hmm.
Robin Hood.
Wait, saw this movie? Oh, so movies already exist at this point. Huh.
Well, yeah. Well, movies have been around for a long time, Joe.
Oh, wait, that's right. Still motion movie as opposed to like a,
Well, back in the
moving picture.
1910s, we already had movies. They were just silent.
Were they moving though?
Yeah, they were.
I thought this
Or-
movie was about, was supposed to be about the making of moving pictures.
Don't worry, Joe. We'll get to it.
I don't know, I get that, but I mean, if movies are already a thing, then we've kind of crossed over the invention phase.
Well, fine. Let me get the exact time. Invention of Hugo Cabri.
Le cinéma. Le festival du cinéma.
How fluent is your French?
That's fine. Wait.
Oh, speaking of films. Speaking of films, why don't we watch one? Oh, look at that, Chaplin.
Like, can you speak and understand it, or?
I can
I-
pronounce it, but I'll admit I'm more proficient in stuff like Spanish than I am French.
I took a French class once, and then they took me out because, like,
Okay, never mind. I miscalculated there. It takes place in 1930s Paris. There you go, Joe.
Oh, okay, yeah. By this time, film was definitely well underway.
And here's one example.
Yes, Charlie Chaplin.
Well, actually, no. This is a French film that they're watching.
I mentioned Charlie Chase, so
Oh,
depends.
Charlie Chaplin. No, the Charlie Chaplin movies were screened in France, but this particular one is not a Chaplin one. I mean, a lot of films have this style.
Hey, look! It's a throwback to the cover of the movie. It's a movie meant for adults, damn it.
Well, actually, if I remember correctly, at this point in time, children were not even allowed in movie theaters, period. So, yeah.
Well, I think they must have been allowed to some extent because children did go to see Disney's Snow White in the 30s.
Did they? That's the thing, Joe. Like,
Yes.
From what I know, back then, film theaters were basically just an adult thing.
Oh, yes, I know for a fact kids did see it because, well, like I mentioned during our commentary of Snow White, Snow White was an infamous movie for literally getting kids so
Hold on.
scared that...
This is important here. There you go.
Yeah.
Sound familiar, Shirley?
Yes.
There
Anyway,
you go.
like I was saying, though, during our commentary of Snow White, the Snow White movie was infamous because it actually got several children so scared that, well, they had to change the upholstery afterwards for reasons.
Oh, there you go, Jova. There you go, Jova. Back then, we didn't miss my mom so much. There you go. Official confirmation.
On a need-to-know basis.
France. Okay, be more specific. Paris. Here you go.
Oh, so his uncle left and totally isn't dead.
Oh, there you go, then. I actually forgot what happened to the uncle.
I wonder if that's just his way of saying that he's dead. Oh.
Uh-oh. Let's see.
Oh boy.
Hey, what? Well, hey, it's all for the greater good. We need to make sure he doesn't arrest us. So. The what of the what?
What's your problem?
So sure, as the cat specialist, what do you think of Cristiano Rossetti as a name for a cat?
Perfect name for a cat.
Of course, you know, I'm a big scholar in the mind and all that. I totally know about that. I'm smart.
Yes. I'm taking a break from the movies I make, but they're not really for children your own age, so.
But yeah, like I said, even back in the day, kids were allowed in the theater. I wonder if it's more so a case of them just being unaccompanied.
I guess.
Because he did say, I bet my parents will let me in.
Yeah, he has to climb with like that because his leg doesn't work. Yeah. Doltish. Again, it's both director and actor. Like, I mean, Martin Scorsese directing what is technically a family-friendly movie here, and Sacha Baron Cohen being in a film that's not let's just say an 18+ movie.
He's
So.
he's actually been in a few of those. He was in Madagascar.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot he was in that.
What was he in Madagascar?
King Julian.
Oh.
Yep.
Not a fan of that character.
I was like, oh, that's him. Because he does radiate some King Julian energy.
Oh crap.
What exactly is his problem?
Basically, while you guys were talking about it, basically, there you go.
Oh, that. That's it. The missing piece. Come with me. Ah.
Well, you were off by 2 words, Jova.
Still, though, I'm on a roll with this movie.
Yeah, I honestly thought she was gonna die there because, like, oh, she's being locked on.
That would have been kind of cruel.
Messed up? Yeah.
This is superlative. There we are. That's a good question.
Look
Turns
at that
out-
hole.
It turns out we're related.
What? No. Oh, wait.
Well, even if there was, even if that was the case, well, why would that be a problem?
It's just it's a bit too cliched.
Well, I can tell you that they're not related if that's what you're
That's
asking.
good.
Well, might as well try it.
Come on, open the key to Kingdom Hearts.
Well, there you go. Deji did it.
This would probably be the keyhole used to do the key magic for this world.
I forget. Has there been a Kingdom Hearts game where opening the keyholes actually turned out to be a bad thing or worked for the villain's plan?
No. In 2, what worked for the villain's plan was killing off Heartless to fuel
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts. Actually connect. Okay, so here's the thing. In the first Kingdom Hearts game, using the keyholes was meant to seal off the worlds, essentially, which Soren Company found out later was kind of a bad idea. Well,
Actually, I just remembered one, Jova. There was a point in Kingdom Hearts 2 where 80s tricks Sora into unlocking the 80s Coliseum thingy.
okay. Dez is talking about the world keyhole, not like, any keyhole
okay.
in general.
All right, then. So, yeah, look at that. It's working. So let's see, what exactly is this automaton hiding?
Turns out he can write a secret message that his dad left for him before he died.
Turns out I want to destroy all humans.
That's what Hugo's hoping.
It
Let's see
turns
if
out,
it's-
son, your mother was an incredibly villainous character here. She
Dear
orchestrated
Hugo.
my murder and is now planning to destroy all of France here. You have only 72 hours left to stop her from the moment that this is written.
He's
upon
going
which
to
you
write the
must
perfect
find us.
movie.
Dear Hugo, you are a bitch ass motherfucker.
Fuck them kids. Sincerely, Dad.
Stop with my wife. It turns out you're not even my son.
Oh my god! So he's gonna write the perfect movie. So what? He's gonna write The Mask of Zorro?
It's that wouldn't really work. We're trying to make this movie different than the other Scorsese movies. This movie is supposed to be a bit more kid friendly.
Okay, dear Hugo, turns out you're not really my son. I hate your mom.
Dun dun dun.
There's
He's a
that
cheater.
better.
I guess. Anyway, let's see what. Okay, so if it's a message, then this thing doesn't really know how to write.
It's in Morse code.
Morse code is not normally written like that, though.
Well, not Morse code. You know what I mean. It's not straightforward. It's a hint, a piece of a puzzle, you might say.
Can he do it again?
Oh. I guess it ran out of juice.
You did, though.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he was really... Yeah, he's about to explain, actually. Remember, this was his last chance to really get something from his dad. So
Let me
this was
guess.
like, he really wanted closure from this, so...
I wonder if he knows what it's supposed to write, but it just didn't do it properly. Oh!
Oh!
Turns out all it needed was for you to cry.
So you were just taking a break, were you, Mr. Automaton?
You see, I run off of the fuel of children's sadness and tears, and that last
You needed a
cry
moment.
really gave me just the juice I needed.
I got
needed a
off of
moment
your
to think what's
misery,
right
you
now.
Oh,
piece
so
of
hold
shit.
on.
Wait,
It seems
is that
like it's
Albert Einstein it's drawing?
Well, let's see.
He's drawing the map
star.
to treasure planets.
Well, let's see.
Or it's designing something.
Well, yeah, they already said that, you're
Nova
Man
from
on the
Kirby.
moon.
a moon being hit in the eye with a rocket. Never seen this before, have we, Shuri?
Nope.
Is this all? Are you referencing Lightning?
No, it's a reference to a movie. Let's just say.
You kind of already mentioned what the movie was at the start.
Yeah, true.
Bridge to Terabithia?
No, well, Deji clearly didn't hear, so just let him keep a suspense.
Alright.
George? Wait, George? Georges Méliès? Huh.
That's a name. I need to find out answers. Oh, snap.
Okay.
Because George made it.
Probably.
I wonder...
Why do you think he was so obsessed with the notebook and asked where did you get this?
Very
It
good.
was
Deji.
probably that notebook that inspired Méliès to make
Maybe he
the
burnt
film
his
camera.
father.
What, to get all the success, or?
I guess, but he can never find the machine. Or they were
Well-
partners, and then there was just an unfortunate accident.
Oh yeah, might as well. So yeah, might as well go to the source and ask him directly. I'm sure he will answer us right there, no problem.
Of course not.
Just explain you're the son of his friend. I'm sure he'll take that lovely.
Oh, I see. You've heard of me.
Of course. Why wouldn't my husband talk about me? It's probably just the camera perspective, but it looked like Hugo is actually taller than her.
Yeah, perspective. Let's see.
It's like in Fast and Furious where The Rock and Vin Diesel standing up next to each other, and it just makes Vin Diesel taller.
Mm-hmm. You okay, Miss John?
A robot made it.
So you know what this thing is.
Ah, and that's why she had the key. Please grant the kid that. I mean, he's only lost his father.
Woman, I lost my parents.
Yeah.
Hide in the wardrobe and may whisk you away to Narnia.
So, are you saying that the plot twist is that they're all dead?
Maybe.
Nah.
No, I'm not letting that go after what you told me.
Oh no. Of course we do.
You're really too enthusiastic about this, Isabel.
Yeah, she has a real hard-on for solving mysteries.
It's adventure.
Was Sherlock Holmes a thing at this point in time?
Yeah, well, yeah, Sherlock Holmes, yes. Well,
Yeah.
she's just very curious. According to, because this character, Chloe Smart's character, is actually based on a real person, and according to her great-great-granddaughter, who's still alive, yes, apparently the real Isabel was indeed very curious, and loved reading and loved adventure and all that stuff. So yeah, this is true to the original person that this character is based on. Ooh, chest. I wonder what it has.
Hold the chair.
Huh. And then the
I'm
chair
waiting for it.
snaps.
Yep.
There we go. Whoa.
And there you go. This is actually one of the shots that was used in the trailer to try to make it seem like this is a fantasy magical movie. And shit
Oh my
like that.
god, that's so terrible. Why would you do that to your audience?
Because
Same reason they
marketing.
did it with Bridge to Terabithia, apparently.
Did the movie bomb as a result?
No, well, okay, it didn't bomb, but at the same time, it wasn't like a super duper success. If that's what you're talking about.
Oh, crap.
Oh boy.
About
My guess
dredging
is-
up the past.
My guess is that they didn't think kids would be able to handle a more, a slow-paced movie like this.
They give kids way too little
To
credit.
little credit, I agree. Yeah.
It's something I've said repeatedly. Well, kids do not like to be treated like idiots.
Yep, back from the dead. Oh boy.
I trusted you. That's why I burned your book.
Well, actually, he did not.
I know.
Now he's gonna.
Huh?
Clearly, Papa George is broken as well, somehow.
Let me guess. He's the magician who made the original film camera, and he is regretting the fact that he never jumped on that thing because he thought it was just a fad.
Well, that would be the Lumiere brothers, but not Georges Méliès. But Georges Méliès.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was a director.
Don't worry, Jova. If I remember, don't worry, Jova. We were literally about to go to the library to actually get that story about how that happened. So, just wait a bit more. No. Don't hold her hand. The shippers will not leave that go by.
I mean, from what I recall, it's not like this movie really... Okay, people saw it, but I don't recall there being this big buzz about it even when it came out. I just remember people saying, "Oh, it's good," and that was pretty much it. Like,
at what point? When in 2011 did this come out?
Most 20 sometime in the winter. This movie this movie was loved, mostly beloved by film buffs, for film lover, like people who love the history of film and all that stuff, because that's clearly what the audience is. But we'll see. Anyway, in the meantime, let me get the box office.
You may call me Handsome the Wise.
What?
Yeah, that was. You know what? You know what? Not gonna lie, it was flipping.
Never mind. Sorry.
Not gonna lie, it was
wrong character.
Definitely wrong character. It was cool that they got flipping Christopher Lee to be in Kingdom Hearts of all things.
Definitely. You don't seriously think that a child could contend with the will of Georges Méliès? No one can.
Come on, you simp. Oh.
Ain't that the truth? Oh, the lady here is quite the...
Friendly.
Not just that, like, what's the term? I forgot. Cupid. Acting is basically playing Cupid here. So, guys, what do you think of the Inspector's smile?
Good.
Fine.
Well, let's see if it works.
I'm guessing this lady is like a regular at the station.
Yeah. She's the florist of the station, I guess.
No, I mean the lady who was just playing Cupid.
Oh, that she's just a regular customer here on the coffee shop, I think.
Let's see him watch this up. Ah. God, why is so much traffic today? I don't know how to carry a conversation because I'm a love puppy. You see, I am a Frenchman in this time period.
Sure would suck if you were allergic to them.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Oh. Can't bend properly?
Nope.
Nope. Oh.
Very early prosthetic, I'm guessing.
Yep. Oh, so we have both something in common. We lost something in the war.
That's where I was stationed. I'm your brother, actually.
Oh, please,
Why?
please no.
The second incest joke we made this week.
Oh, we need to stop.
Funny, they both involved Emily. This actress. Funny how that turns out.
Anyway, to change the subject, Mary Poppins Returns came out much later. She has not aged a bit.
Emily is
7 years.
That or the
I guess.
makeup is just that damn good.
Anyway, before we get to this point, basically, Jova, it had a budget of 150 to 170 million and only made 185 million. So yeah, it didn't make its money back
Technically
at
a
all.
bomb.
Again, maybe if the film loving community knew that this movie was for them, they would have supported the movie. Now, wouldn't they, Paramount?
Okay. I know that there used to be a point in time where all a movie had to do to be considered a success was just make more money than its original budget in the box office. I know that was probably still a thing in the 90s at least, because Mask of Zorro was considered a big budget success, despite
there you go,
not
Jova.
making double its budget.
Here's the point you've been winning. There you go.
Told by Christopher Lee, so it sounds epic. Huh. People would.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, this was literally people didn't even know what a movie was. So that's true, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I remember learning that.
You know, sooner or later, movies are literally gonna be made where you are a part of the movie in virtual reality.
Please do not spoil what the bad guy's plan for Space Jam 2 was. I'm not joking. That was what the Warner Brother wants.
So yeah. France is actually the place where cinema was born. Again, the Lumiere brothers were the ones who made Train Ride at the Station. So there you go. So when you want to talk about the history of cinema, the earliest point you can go is yes, all the way back to France.
Hey, there's Charlie Chaplin.
Hey, Chaplin. Oh.
Was he the first?
He was the one that came up with the idea of the narrative film, Joe. Because before Georges Méliès, films were, as you saw in those previous examples we just saw, mostly just technical showcases. Look, we can have a train arriving at a station. Look, we can have a guy shooting the camera. You know, they were mostly just there to show, look how awesome and cool this new technology is. But Georges Méliès was the first one to truly think we can tell a story with this thing.
Let me guess. His movie was a flop, but later movies were a success.
Well, let's see. Yeah.
What?
He wrote that book.
Also, Daniel Radcliffe, what are you
welcome.
doing here?
This is actually true, by the way. For a while, Georges Méliès was presumed dead. Well, and eventually he was found.
Seriously, is that Daniel Radcliffe?
No.
It looks like him.
He wasn't really old enough to be like this yet. Remember, this was the same year that the final Harry Potter movie came out.
Well, to be fair, that doesn't mean he was still busy filming that. That just means that that's the year it came out.
True.
Even
at the
then,
same time, age. Look at how this guy is compared to
Makeup guys. Makeup can make you look younger or older if done right.
Well, I can tell that according to the credits, he's not. Yeah, here you go.
So wait, this is actually based off a true story.
Yes, the story of Georges Méliès.
I'm guessing
one of the most important filmmakers, arguably the most important filmmaker.
So, wait, that robot is real or mechanical?
No. The automaton is fictional.
Okay.
But, the story of Georges Méliès is real.
My guess is that when it comes to everything regarding Hugo and his father, that's fictional. But Georges Méliès, that's an actual person. My guess is that this movie is about recognizing him as the one who pioneered it, despite him probably not being remembered that much in that regard. Hence why, Georges Méliès seems to be quite the broken man nowadays.
Very good, Jova.
Oh my god. His brother was Hugo's father, wasn't he?
No.
Oh.
Completely unrelated. So there you go. Mr. René Tabard here is actually the world's biggest Georges Méliès fanboy.
Can I just point out the irony that whereas Georges Méliès apparently had a bit of an issue in finding success, that this movie also turned out being a box office flop?
This movie is called Kingdom of the Fairies. And look at that, see? They put an aquarium in front of the camera to simulate the underwater aspect.
Yep.
So yeah, as you can see, it's abundantly clear that this movie is clearly made for film buffs. Again, if the movie was marketed like that, maybe the film community would have supported it. Just saying, Paramount.
I do wonder.
I mean, let me put it this way. The artist was marketed properly, and it was a success at the box office.
But
yeah, that's the thing, Hugo. Yeah.
And unfortunately, these are some things that cannot be easily fixed, if at all.
Yeah.
got that right.
I wonder. And Sheila, I wonder. Only one movie survived. I wonder which one it is. Could it be his? Could it be his most iconic movie?
The one that we've seen pictures of all across this movie? Nah, don't think so.
Man, if only there was a time machine so we can help preserve movies.
Yeah.
Oh no. Wow, all this time they think that Hugo's been his uncle.
Again.
Hell, the irony.
Or the dog.
Moxie, purpose.
Hero.
Guns kill people. It's all part of the group plan. So I'm going to fix everyone, whether they like it or not.
Hush, Luke.
I actually really like this this particular feeling of the movie, and by extension the book, the parallel between purpose of machines and purpose of humans, which, like he himself said, is not that different.
Oh, your parents are dead too?
Yes, of course.
Wow, so even if his parents weren't dead, her parents is. So yeah, dead mothers all around.
Yes!
Bruce
Bingo?
Wayne comes, and then Bruce Wayne comes. Finally, I'm not alone.
The Dead Mother Club. It's a miserable club.
Unless your mother was terrible to you.
It's a well, you gotta remember, if there's one thing Legend of Korra taught me, is that you can bond over dead parents, according to, because Mako and God, what's her name, Azami, kind of bond over their dead parents, specifically in the case of Azami, her mother.
Well, I mean, it's like being with somebody who, you know, understands what
Understands
you're
your
through.
pain.
Yeah.
It's a bout of
yeah,
empathy
sure.
in that regard.
Yeah, I understand that, sure.
There might be something there that wasn't there before.
It's not a very nice thing to bond over, but it might help people.
Well, if it helps people, then I would regard it as a nice thing. I mean...
So what goes wrong? Perfect.
Let's just wing it.
Fuck it, why not? We're gonna fix him by unearthing all his trauma.
It'll
Well, actually,
either
right,
fix him or break him forever.
Well, that's the thing, Shiroi. The movie will actually make a point about that, actually, later on. Wait a bit.
Also, you might have a girlfriend.
Lucky.
Oh, come on, Shiroi. Why can't they just be friends? Well, just because she kissed him on the cheek that doesn't necessarily mean...
Yeah, they're French. Remember, this is normal. Also, Jova says lucky, despite the fact that I'm the only one that's called that single.
Well, I'm looking out for you, buddy.
Nova's your wingman, oh god.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, you know, if you want to achieve that nirvana, Oh, is this the scene?
Which one?
You know, the scene.
Well, I'm kind of having a hard time realizing what you mean specifically. Sorry.
Is this the scene where the train crashes?
Oh no, there is no no train crash.
There is a train crash scene in this movie.
Is there? Oh, fine. I'll wait.
No.
Yeah, totally.
Well, technically, if he's fast enough, technically it wouldn't necessarily be a problem. Now get away. Now get up.
Why are you
Jesus Christ!
looking at that in the middle of a train section, you dumbass?
You pick it up, get off the platform, and then look at it.
Oh, look! Now a train's coming! Hugo! Hugo! Hugo!
Hugo Cabret, come on, leave.
You can't break a train in time.
Oh well, in that case, let's just kill the kid.
Oh, I think we are about to get that train crash scene.
How did you? Oh my god!
Oh my god, Hugo's dead!
All right, I forgot about this actually. Oh, okay then.
This is happening. By jolly god, this is happening.
Oh yeah, and this is totally not a dream sequence. We swear.
Okay, so fun fact.
Yeah, there's an iconic image. Yes.
So fun fact, this is actually based off of a real life event, essentially. This is why.
I will say, Jova, it was technically a dream sequence, so technically it did not happen.
But technically, though, I was right that there is a train cast scene in the movie.
Fine.
He didn't say it happened, in canon, so...
God damn it, you loopholes.
So, anyway, it turns out that was actually based off of a real-life event here.
Yes.
The train at Montparnasse at 1895. Literally, that's exactly how it happened. Well, okay, minus the boy in the train tracks, but essentially, the locomotive driver was trying to slow down. Didn't turn out well. Miraculously...
It's another dream.
Oh no! What am I? I'm a monster! Why? So first he imagined himself getting run over by a train in homage to a famous train derailment. Then he imagined himself being a robot.
Well, the robot is symbolic of the fact that he's still not quite fixed and he desperately needs this. As for the other dream, the train dream, that's probably because Martin really wanted to pay homage to that.
Oh, look, that's probably his uncle, isn't it? Oh, yep, uncle's dead.
Claude Cabret.
And just like I figured, the uncle's dead. But, uh-oh, that means if Claude's dead, who's the one manning the clocks then?
Very good.
He did die being flat out drunk, or...
Wow, just like I called it. You sure about that? I know. So amazingly, in that train crash, none of the passengers or even the drivers died, despite that locomotive literally careening off the top floor of a train station.
That's quite the miracle.
Unfortunately, one woman did die because of falling masonry.
Oh, there you go then.
She wasn't even on the train. She just died from a falling bout of rubble.
Also, the inspector bathes with his doggo.
It shows that
That's
they're together.
unsanitary.
Don't you see? It shows their togetherness.
I remember waiting for a train and there were like a couple of people actually sitting on the platform edge with their legs like dangling over. And after doing the regular tannoy announcements, the person over the tannoy actually called them out to everyone.
And there you go.
Oh boy. Which one? Nope. So let me guess, even though he was big for the era he came out on, the films were smaller, so obviously when the time came for him to, I guess, they weren't maintained well, and he sort of faded into obscurity until historians, acknowledged him.
That potentially could have become what happened, Joe. Unfortunately, the story of why Georges Méliès stopped making films is far more tragic than that.
Oh, are we gonna figure that out in movie?
Yes, and this is not even romanticized. Everything you're about to hear about Georges Méliès' past is true.
Of course.
Oh.
Were you the leading lady in a lot of those movies?
Yes.
Probably how they met. So, did this stuff actually happen with, like, a historian coming to his house and whatnot?
Don't worry, Joe. But when we finish, I'll tell you the details that fill in the gaps that you just asked. Because I have the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray has a special feature going into more detail about the story. Yeah, we have a film. Come on, let's see a film.
Well, so long as George can't hear. Besides, it's a silent movie. He won't be able to hear it.
Also, movies were really short back then anyway, so yes, we'll be quick.
But remember the process of putting one goddamn together.
And editing them if God help you, you had to.
Yeah, don't worry, sure. We're about to get into the details of that.
Don't tell me she starred in this one, too.
Well,
He's gonna walk in on them watching it, isn't he?
He'll either go jelly or he'll go into a blind rage.
Yeah, this is another reason why the movies have to be short. Yeah, it would probably be very tiring to keep spinning the handle throughout the entire...
Oh gosh, can you imagine doing that for like 3 hours of Endgame?
Oh god.
They'd have to like have the movie split into parts and have a different person spin the reel each time.
You still there, Dej, by the way?
He's muted.
Yeah, I'm still here. So...
Okay.
Probably just...
Sure. Oh, there it is. Oh, listen here.
Man, must have been a pain.
Yeah, it was. At the time, there was no other way of coloring the films.
I'm pretty sure there have been rare instances where people accidentally forgot to color a single frame.
Yeah, there were.
We're kind of seeing it right now. Like, obviously, there's going to be some color flickering.
Yep.
So I assume like the original film is lost to time, right?
No, A Trip to the Moon has survived.
Oh, okay.
I mean, otherwise it wouldn't be in
That
this
and
movie,
I think
obviously.
a train stops at a station survived somehow.
Well, yeah, we saw it earlier, so yeah, definitely. That one was rescued, but I think that's like I don't think there's that many of the Lumiere brothers movies that survived. Not really. Hell, and not to mention, as far as we know, in terms of historical records, yes, we have the earliest movie we can trace back in terms of our knowledge is Train to Ride the Station. But for all we know, maybe there was one before that. It's just that we don't have knowledge of it, and nobody.
Ah, there he is in the doorway.
Hello.
I think I should. And now the movie's about to make a point about what you said earlier about dredging up trauma.
I'm sure you would.
I'd accept it.
There you go.
Sometimes you have to just to get closure.
You just keep bottling it up inside. That's not healthy.
No.
All right. Here's the story of Georges Méliès.
Hmm. How nice.
You think a magician would make a good film director?
Well,
It worked out with Georges Méliès, didn't it?
I mean, nowadays.
probably.
Well, it's possible. I don't see why not.
I mean, part of being a good magician is knowing good misdirection, which can be, you know, a tactic used in filming.
Maybe Christopher Nolan's actually a magician.
Here we go. There you go. He was there when the Lumiere brothers screened the movie.
Of course.
Honestly, that's a very effective way to show people how this stuff works. I mean, the movie itself, not, this dissection of the history.
There you go. He saw it as a new kind of magic. There you go, Joe. But he didn't invent the camera, but he built his own based on what.
Right.
There you go.
And that's why pieces were missing from it.
Hey, Martin. Little director cameo there.
Cute.
And your movie studio is a greenhouse.
Yes. It was for the purposes of lighting, Shuri. According to Martin Scorsese, they built this set according to the actual proper dimensions of the real studio, based on photographs and stuff like
Oh
that.
wow.
Yep. Yeah, here you go. Check this out. Oh wait, it's not. It's not yet. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here you go. What you're about to see is actually the most common technique that Georges Méliès pioneered, and he used it all over in his films. Oh, wait, yeah, right here, with the Scottons.
The jump cut.
Yep. And now we just cut the film reel.
Editing. Oh gosh.
There you go. Well, Joe, but there was no other way of doing it back then. So.
And I've said it before, I don't know if it was on commentary or off commentary, editing at the time was a very thankless job, so
Yeah.
It
all
still
that
is.
work.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
Okay,
easier
Des-
now, but better.
it's better, but yeah, it's
Des-
still a thankless
Des.
job.
Consider the fact that at least now you get credited, because back in the day, editors did not get credited.
Oh, here's in here. Of course.
Okay. Ah. Burned it all down.
Yep.
Well, that's probably a mistake you're going to regret.
How could you do this to
Symbolism.
me?
And he was forced to sell his movies to a company who had nothing into chemicals. There you go. And guess what? His films ended up as shoes. Heel shoes in particular, like the most terrible, stupid kind of shoe there is.
Shoot.
Wow, talk about getting walked all over. I'm not sorry.
Not sorry for him, or sorry about the shoes?
Sorry about what I just said.
And now it's come back. Actually, the automaton's okay. about that.
Yeah, we have a surprise
Also-
for you. We have a surprise for you, Mr. Méliès. Yes, sure.
Also, like this guy, you know, the childhood fan, it's like you've met your hero again, and you know, you got to sit through his tragic backstory.
Oh, I know what's gonna
What?
happen. A chase scene between him and Sacha Baron Cohen, because now he knows his uncle is dead.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now that you saw the whole films were the film reels were turned into shoes thing, here's an interesting piece of detail from the story that the movie doesn't actually say. Growing up, Georges Méliès grew up in a family of shoemakers. And guess
Oh
what?
my god.
And guess what? He hated shoes.
Oh
Which is
my
why he didn't
god.
go. Which is why he didn't follow up on his family's footsteps. For his films to end up as shoes,
That's
that
like
is phenomenally tragic.
not only that,
You
that's
tried to escape your legacy, but it just came back.
oh look, the two dogs like each other.
So, if I understood correctly, if a doggo doesn't like you, get him opposite gender dog. There you go. I got you laid. Now leave me alone.
So I'm guessing this is the part of the film where all the characters' arcs come to a close or whatnot.
Well, Sheila, dogs are far more simple-minded than us. So
No,
I
no,
guess
I
that
know.
probably would work.
Every movie technically had shipping.
I mean,
That's one of the most. But yeah, like I was saying, that's one of the most biggest pieces of tragic irony. And remember, it's a real story. That's actually what actually happened. That's just
oh.
depressing.
So Hugo, bad news. Your terrible uncle is dead. Uh-oh. You know, Hugo doesn't seem too broken up about his uncle being dead.
Well, I can see why, considering what little we saw of him.
Oh, that's a cute. Oh.
Actually, he's been helping keep the station run.
Oh, yeah, listen here. Wow, you're even more broken than we thought. There you go, Shiroi. We solved that little plot thread. The wife came back.
Wow, everyone's character arcs really are coming to a close.
Yeah.
Also, from that speech, this guy gives off "I suffered, so now you have to suffer" energy.
I think it's more so. I think it's more so that he's convinced that the orphanage is what's good for him. Like he doesn't naturally realize that that the orphanage probably broke him more than fixed in him. So
Yeah.
I do kind of get that semblance of, though, it's like, everyone must know my suffering as well. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. What the? Okay. My God, dude.
What a great set piece.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is where we're about to get the bit from the cover, aren't we?
Yes.
Hey, get it? Because it's just like in that movie he saw earlier.
This is just like Final Fantasy VII,
Yes.
Which one?
the remake.
Considering we're trying to move the pendulum.
Isn't this technically
yeah.
more like Final Fantasy VIII?
I'm also referring to the stairs.
Oh, that, yeah.
Oh, that. Okay.
Because if you're talking about the clock, that's a thing from Final Fantasy VIII where we traverse using the clock hands in a clock.
No, the stairs.
And then over there on the outside, you can see Sora fighting one of the Heartless super bosses.
Oh,
and,
the Phantom super boss.
That's it, the Phantom. Using the stop spell on the pendulum.
If you look up a little bit, you'll see 3 people eating ice cream on the roof.
Yes.
That too.
It's salty yet sweet.
Clock towers are something that writers really seem to like to put in their stories because
They look cool.
They're very visually striking. So storytellers love using clock towers in their stories.
Sucker.
Very clever, Hugo.
Life endangering, but clever. And now we finally see from the perspective of the movie cover. He's back. Huh. Uh-oh. Behind you! I actually thought of that.
Oh.
No! And then it gets hit by a train. You failed me, Hugo. You failed me. Oh God, it's just like his dream.
There's gonna be a difference now, though.
He doesn't die.
Well, that's not. Yeah, that's the primary difference. Yes, true. Wow, talk about a premonition dream. There you go. Oh God, I don't have to go to bed with a heavy conscience tonight.
You're a hero.
Yeah, here you go.
Assuming that thing isn't broken from falling onto the solid train tracks.
Yeah, you should understand, Inspector. Yeah. 。
come to adopt this boy. Ah, there you go.
Miss Mortimer, are you always looking at me judging my every move?
I'm here to help progress your character arc.
So is it every time he's doing something, there she is right there looking at him with a judgmental look on her face. Yeah, I would agree.
Hmm. And they're a thing now, I guess. And of course, all the characters show up together here. Ah, so there you go.
Yep. Even and this was by the time the book was written in 2008. By the time this movie came, I think they found out some more because for a while there was a fairly good ratio of new movies by him being found.
Okay, so it's not like... Okay, so did this also happen in real life?
Yes, this gala. Yes, that's at the very least the nice thing. Georges Méliès' story does have a happy ending. Yes, they found him.
Oh, oof.
And there was a gala in his honor for
Wow.
his contributions to the art form.
And while he was alive, that's kind of
Yes.
amazing. Like,
Yeah. Yes, basically he himself. That's that thing about him being in a toy store. That's also true, by the way. Like for a long time. Well, actually, no. I'll wait till later because he's going to speak now.
yeah, he literally risked his life for this.
He didn't just fix one; he fixed 3 by this point.
That was a nice transition.
Yes. And these are probably the actual films from back then.
Yes, these are the actual films.
Kind of amazing how they got the actors looking so much like the actual folk from it.
That's the thing. According to the great-great-great-granddaughter of Georges Méliès, who did indeed was consulted in the making of this film, according to her, Ben Kingsley has the same face as her great-great-grandfather. So yeah, apparently Ben Kingsley really is just a great choice to play Georges Méliès. So.
Oh, it's good that the guy's life did have a happy ending.
Yeah, he actually ended his life making another movie. Unfortunately, he died before he could finish it, but he died a happy man.
Wow.
Also, the musicians from the train station even get to actually perform.
Oh, I see someone's fixed too.
Oh, and he designed it, actually. A more motorized version.
Hugo designed for him. Oh, and he's mastered 3 smiles now. Wow.
And he actually got a girlfriend.
Like he himself said, he's now a fully functioning man.
And now Hugo has a family.
Yeah, and they also kind of implied that Isabelle is going to write a book, as in the book that this movie is based on.
I'm guessing the boy Hugo was fictional and just a metaphor
Obviously.
for stuff.
Yeah. Basically, Brian Selznick, the author of the book, when he was studying Georges Méliès, he found Georges Méliès' story so fascinating and great that he decided to write an entire book about it. And the whole Hugo and fixing machines storyline was there as a supporting plot for the Georges Méliès plot, basically. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, before we give our final thoughts, let me just finish filling in the gaps. Basically, like I said before, if you need more reasons to hate shoes with heels, now you have even one more reason to do so.
But, that's the thing. I kind of like heels.
Well, I don't, sorry. But whatever, the point is...
I mean, look, I had to wear some for a theater production, so I know how to move.
Wow, I can't
Oh
even
my
stand
god!
in
Oh my
heels,
god! Produced
so-
by Johnny Depp. Maybe that composer was Johnny Depp.
But yeah, so yeah, Georges Méliès eventually became a filmmaker, like with all the stuff that we already know. The war came, and of course, he was forced to, in a night of bitter despair, yes, he burned all of his costumes and sets. He was forced to sell his celluloid films to a company that melted them into shoes. And with that money, he bought a toy store, and he remained there for years. People thinking he just died in the war because he was never heard from again. Until eventually, there was one point where a customer was talking to Georges Méliès in the store, and even Mr. Méliès, something like that. And run the whole coincidence. At the time, a writer for a magazine who specialized in film reviews actually heard him say Mr. Méliès and say, "Oh, excuse me, sir." And this is according to the great-great-great-great-granddaughter of Georges Méliès. She tells a story in the Blu-ray extra. "Excuse me, sir, are you related to the filmmaker Georges Méliès?" And he says, well, "Yes, that's me. I'm Georges Méliès." So he was found in a happy accident, kind of. And later, that writer started writing articles about him, and then the French Film Association, I think that's the name, eventually got him and then decided to actually do the search and do that gala that we just saw to homage him, and it was a very touching experience for him, according to the granddaughter, and
it got him back into filmmaking. Apparently,
they got him. They funded him for a next film. Unfortunately, by that point, he was already very, very old, as you saw by the way Ben Kingsley looking in this film. So unfortunately, he didn't finish that film. However,
did somebody finish it for him?
No. it was left unfinished. They didn't. I'm guessing they didn't want to mess with because it wouldn't really be the same. I guess they thought. But yeah, his life does have a happy ending, as we saw here. Yes.
I mean, he literally got to die doing the thing he loved the most. Like.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that was Hugo.
It was surprisingly a good movie. Not in the sense that I thought it was going to be bad, but I'll admit, the movie had a very weird start. And I was kind of wondering, okay, obviously they're setting something up with all these characters, but it wasn't really clear what they were setting up with all the characters. The very subtle way that they work things into it, like the whole, oh, you think it's just going to be about a boy trying to figure out the truth about his father. Well, it goes well beyond that, and it turns out it's more about Ben Kingsley's character, Georges Méliès. And, like, well, again, it's an interesting fusion between fictional with historical in that. But it feels tasteful in that regard. But yeah, it's a very good movie. Not my favorite. But that said, it is still a phenomenal movie that I would give a watch every now and then. Like, again, it's not the most entertaining movie, but it is a movie that tells a story that it is best that it was told. And it doesn't feel like it's just made out of obligation, though it feels like it is about a passion. And I do like how things wrap up in the end relatively neatly, and showing that, yes, sometimes, even in real life, we can get happy endings. So, yeah, overall enjoyed this movie. Quite a wonderful surprise. I'm not quite sure it would have really have spoken to me as much if I'd seen this as a kid back in 2011. Oh my god, this is literally 10 years after this movie came out.
Well, right now... Well, yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, 10 years. You're right, actually. 10 years.
Yes, Dej, I know, we're all getting old.
Yeah, so how do you feel that Sonic Generations turns 10 in 2 months?
Yeah, that game also turns 10 years old in 2 months, yeah.
And Super Mario 3D Land. And
at the time of this recording. Go on, Joe.
But yeah, it was a good, surprising flick. I enjoyed it. Well chosen, Pedro, I mean Dej. Sure, Roy, why don't you go next?
Alright. Like, it does take a little bit to actually pick up. It is a slow start, but overall, this is a very lovely and enjoyable movie. I mean, the acting's great, the movie looks great. It's a lovely tribute to cinema, and even if you're somebody who's not heavily invested in it, I think you could still get almost as much enjoyment out of it as, a big film buff, I guess.
Aside from the Georges Méliès storyline, there's also, of course, the thematic through line of fixing broken machines, because like they say, both the book and the movie pose Georges Méliès as a broken machine, and Hugo really wants to fix it because that's what he loves doing. So.
And honestly, I'm not sure why they had to be misleading with the marketing, because I don't see anything about this. Like, considering other movies I've seen growing up, I don't see anything about this that children wouldn't enjoy.
Also, Jesus, the scenes that they
understand.
Also, the scenes that they must have had to root through to make this seem like a fantastical movie, because at least with Bridge to Terabithia, there were constantly the scenes with the mystical setting and whatnot. Here, I guess they used the scene of the moving pictures and the train crashing, and maybe Hugo hanging on to the clock to make it appear more fantastical.
I agree they would have been better off advertising it as it is. Like, I know doing the opposite usually works, but in this case it didn't.
Okay, to play a tiny bit of devil's advocate, I could see them not revealing the secret that it's truly a movie about Georges Méliès, if only because it's obvious that the movie does treat that like a twist, even though it is the main focus of the movie. So that is the only other reason I could see for them misadvertising it, because again, it's about of needing to keep the secret. And like I said, I do feel like there needs to be a big discussion in the matter of how far should we go to make a big surprise out of it in the advertising. Like, should we really do it to the point where it arguably actively hurts the product in a lot of people's eyes?
I mean, I agree, but the way they did it was still wrong.
Oh yes,
I feel because
yeah. Like I said, I'm definitely playing devil's advocate with that one, but like, well, that is another reason I could see them hiding it is because they wanted to keep it a secret that it's about Georges Méliès because, yeah, it kind of is a plot twist that it's about him, even if people would.
well, it is. But how about instead, since this is a reasonably common format with movie trailers, you could show, specific scenes from Hugo's storyline, but have George's dialogue be like random snippets of his dialogue be sort of the narration for the trailer, and only those in the know would actually be able to pick that up. So it expresses the point of the movie, but is also still subtle about it to the majority.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree there was a better way to do it. The problem is that the big industry, when they do try to keep a secret, it pretty much just devolves into lying about something, especially with
they're not very
medias
good
of
at
late.
it.
Nope.
But anyway, back to the movie itself.
Yes.
The characters are all great. Like, there's a lot of them to keep track of, but they put the most amount of focus on the right ones. It's it's a very heartwarming movie, despite how miserable it gets. It's just again, slow start, but it's a very, very enjoyable time, and it was nice to see it again. Like 5-6 years later. Yeah, and that's it.
This is the kind of movie that I think the older you get, the more appreciative you are of it. Because
I
of
agree.
what it's doing. It's just because of how this movie is clearly so passionate about what it's depicting. All right, that's for me. Now, like I said, this is a really wonderful movie. Like I love Georges Méliès is one of the most influential filmmakers of all time. So he does deserve a tribute like this. And his story is a story that's genuinely worth telling because his story is genuinely interesting on its own. The fact that, like, if anything, because of the tragic irony of it, like the first time I heard about that, like that
Man
that
Who
he
Hates
hated
Shoes has his
he hated
movies melted down into shoes.
That's just
Mind you, the
wow,
heels of shoes.
That's depressing as all hell. Like, seriously. But yeah, it's like his story in general is just perfect to make into a movie, and yeah, as demonstrated by this, because it has a nice happy ending, and I'm really glad. And I also really love the original material, specifically the prolonged theme of fixing broken machines. It's a very clever way to go about it that Brian Selznick came up with when he wrote the book. So yeah, I really like it a lot. It's a very, very nice, one very heartwarming tribute to cinema, and it's just so good to see a way to it's a good way to introduce people to haven't heard of Georges Méliès to others like this. Is great. Have you ever heard of Georges Méliès? No? Then I've got the movie for you. I think you're gonna find this interesting. Because George's story is really interesting on its own. Like Shuri said, even if you don't care for film history, the story of the man himself is genuinely interesting. So on that front alone, it's worth a watch. So great. All right, Deji, close us up.
So, it's good to know that we started with a good movie this week and end things on a good movie. That's a disgusting taste that from Mary Poppins Returns on Corolla. What? But it's a very fascinating film, and it's cool to learn the insight of how early film was. Like, I had no expectations going in because all Pedro said is like, "Oh, you'll like it. What's it about?" Okay, I'll see. It's like, oh, okay, this is good. It's well paced. All the characters' arcs get wrapped up neatly, especially that the guy's superior here on the phone. It's like, oh, she came back.
We even got that story of all things.
Yeah, we still don't know how the dad died.
Oh, well, no. The
fire
dad
in the
died
museum.
because of the fire in the museum.
The fire at the museum.
What caused it?
Oh, that we don't know.
It just feels like
the
Well,
Mandarin
that-
caused it.
That's something that's even in the book. The book itself doesn't explain what caused the fire to begin with as well. I guess Brian Selznick forgot to explain how the fire started.
No. You see, it was the Mandarin who did it.
Sure, we'll go with the.
I still haven't seen that movie yet. So, but overall, I had fun. I liked the characters. It was a good interest. It was like I said, a good insight on how things were, even if some things weren't, or even though some things are pretty much fiction. Not everything, but like Hugo himself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, good choice, Pedro. I mean, me.
You have good taste in movies, Deji.
Yes, I do.
All right. See you for whatever we do next, I guess.
Yeah. See you.
See ya.